Hello out there. Welcome back. We have had quite a bit of rain this week, so everything is greening up very nicely. We get that in southeast Texas a good bit until really the dead of winter, which sometimes is after Christmas. But as it is right now, it looks very nice out here. So we're happy to be able to get a little rain here. It's been kind of dry. I'd like to thank Wayne Go 3270 for sending in this question, and he was asking me if I thought that I should have retired earlier, and where I was when I did retire. Well, I was 66 when I retired because at that time the law said that you had to be 66 in 4 months to get full retirement benefits from Social Security. Not maximum benefits, which is at 70, but I really didn't want to wait until I was 70 to retire. So the short answer is no, I didn't want to retire earlier. I really did enjoy my job. What really started my whole idea of retiring was the COVID epidemic. While we had to go to work because it was a radio station and the show must go on, which is an expression that was made up by a plumber who never had to do a show, I have to point out. Nevertheless, we had to go in, and the way we did it was that during that time we would go in one at a time. Now, my job was mostly not on the air, so all I had to do was get paperwork done. I could do a lot of that at home. And the people who had to do shows would go in as they did their shows and then leave, so the next person would come in, wouldn't have anybody around. And so that's kind of how it worked out for a great deal of the time during the epidemic. And during that time, I realized that working from home was not such a bad deal. Not that my office was not nice. I had a big office and everything that I needed at my reach, and an able-bodied assistant who was able to keep me on track and things that I needed to do. But it was kind of nice to be able to be home, to be able to see this. My office at the radio station didn't have windows, and nothing else in the station actually had windows in it. And so it was nice to be able to see the outside, to know when the sun came up, when it was raining outside, other than by, computers. But I digress. My idea after COVID was done was that I kind of liked this. And I thought at that time it would be about time for me to think about retirement anyway. And as soon as everybody came back to work, I told my boss that I am going to give you very early notice that my plans are to retire. And I was asked if I wanted to stay until I was 70, and I just couldn't imagine doing that, not at that point. And I said, but really my thoughts on the matter was because of during COVID, just about everybody wanted to quit after that episode ended. And I might change my mind, but I wanted to give a heads up just in case. And so thankfully my boss was understanding and didn't think that I was just trying to leave. And so I was able to stay on for a couple of years after that. But during that time, there were things that I thought needed to be done. And in regard to equipment, in case we had another similar situation where more things could be done outside of the studios, also beefing up things like our transmitter system, which had to be manually monitored. Now it's not. A number of technical things that needed to be done to bring the station up to peak efficiency, shall we say. And add to that the fact that we were making money, we were in good shape, and that there were capable people of taking over. I thought this was a very good time to pass the torch. I miss having contact with the people every day. That was a pleasure to do, but making reports not necessarily. There were reports to the feds, and there were reports to the state, and there were reports to my boss, and there were deadlines, and there were favors asked. And for the most part, I didn't mind doing it. But I thought, if I left any time later, would it be any better? Would it be better for me? Would it be better for them? And I determined that this was about the right time, that I was not as capable of doing my job as I was years before. I was aware that I was slowing down. I was delegating more things. I felt that perhaps it needed young blood to keep it going. And the nature of media these days, I mean, this is YouTube. This is what everybody is watching. There's not as many people listening to the radio anymore. One of the biggest celebrities is a podcaster, and hardly is known beyond that. And so I thought, this is about the time, because, I mean, radio's changed a lot since I got in. When I first started 45 years ago, it was not a whole lot different than it was in 1940. If you walked into a 1940 radio station when I started, it would be about the same. And from the time that I started until now, it's changed from what looked like a radio station to what looks like a computer center. And that's not bad. There are a lot of things that make things work better and cheaper and with less trouble. I'd seen my last times of working 6 days a week and working all night sometimes, and having to fill in for someone who is sick. A lot of these things can be taken care of by computers, and the computers are starting to get a little difficult for me to figure out. And I had people under me who said, oh yeah, you just do the this and then that and then the other thing, and then it all resets. Okay, fine. And that was another thing that went into my decision to leave. But at 62, I was still having fun. I still had things to do. I still had things to build. I still wanted to leave a situation better than I found it and make it easier for whoever was coming in, because these jobs are not easy. And so that was my thinking, and I don't regret any of it. I don't think that I stayed too long, and I don't think that I should have left sooner. I don't think that I should have stayed longer. I'm pretty happy with my situation right now, and thankfully my family is too. When they need me, I can be around a lot faster. There was never a time when I couldn't just jump out of what I was doing and help, but these days I'm just a phone call away, a room away, a few blocks away. And so that's the advantage that I have to them. And so, as a matter of fact, today my wife was having some medical tests done, and I had to drive her back because she would have been partially anesthetized. So that's an advantage of being where I am. So those are my thoughts, and thank you once again, Wayne Go 3270, for posing the question. For once in my life, I think my timing was just right. So, we'll see you next week. Don't go far.